guys, welcome to today's video. Well, in today's video we are going to talk about the new car on my channel, because we probably this year are going to buy a new car, because it's very hard for me to sell this one, but I got an amazing offer from someone that I can't deny, and that really got my mindset on a new car. And when I'm buying a new car, my car needs to be able to do some skids, which I really do like, and also it needs to be a hatchback or a coupe, because I really do love those two types. So it's I have a wide range of cars that I can pick, but like I said before, it's very important for me that the car can do skids, like what I'm going to demonstrate right now. So yeah, my car needs to be able to have a little bit of fun, to do some skids. And for a coupe, that ain't a problem, because most of them are rear-wheel drive anyway. But hatchback wise, that's gonna be a more tough choice, because literally, a lot of hatchbacks are front wheel driven or have an all-wheel drive system that is not able to do that. So for the moment, I can... Oh, my car just start-stop. I really hate start-stop. Anyway, but for the moment, I can only think of 5 hatchbacks that are able to do some skids like I just did. Of course, the M140i, because it's rear-wheel driven, has a straight 6, perfect. The new M135i can't do it. It has a front-wheel driven based X-Drive system, which just really sucks. I mean, it just changes it into an ordinary Golf. Funnily enough, the new Golf 8R has drift mode, so that's also a car that can do it. We live in a world where you can drift the current Golf 8R, but not the current M135i. What a crazy world, I mean, right? Also, the Ford Focus MK3 RS has a drift mode. That also the Mercedes A45S, the later one, has a drift mode. And apparently, but that car still has to be released in its full glory, the new RS3 from Audi will also have drift mode. So that gives us 5 cars that I can think of right now that can do drifts and skids. But you see, there are a few problems why I would only pick one of them, of the 5 cars. First of all, the Golf 8R is a new car, but I'm not a Volkswagen fan. I don't hate them, I just don't want one. And especially not the 8R. I think I like the 7R more, but you can't drift that. So yeah, that's not an option. Also, it's a new car, so it's actually really expensive for what you get. The A45S is stupidly expensive. I mean, even on the second-hand market, they are really expensive. Like, what the fuck, does Mercedes think they're made of gold or something? So they're not an option. The new RS3 is not even out yet, so I can't even buy one, and that's also going to be very expensive. So I mean, I think the starting price will be over 60,000 euro, and then you don't have any options. So yeah, also not my thing. And then the Ford Focus MK3 RS, price wise, they're actually cheaper than an M140i. There's only the interior, it's just plain ugly. The interior of the Ford Focus, I'll show a pic. It just looks like a 15-year-old car, base spec. It just doesn't look cool. The seats are pretty nice, but nah, I wouldn't ever want one. Also, they're apparently not that reliable, and they don't make the power that Ford claims they have. I mean, they have 350 from the factory, but in real life, they most of the time produce 320, 330 if you're lucky, and then you need to add a tune, and then you'll push 360, 70. So really, potential is not that great, and I hear a lot of things fail on them. So I don't want, another unreliable car. So no Ford Focus MK3 RS. So basically, the only thing that remains is an M140i and the older M135i. But the thing is, I would pick an M140i because the B58 is a much better engine as the N55 in the M135i. It has a lot more potential and is more reliable and has a lot more torque. And peak horsepower numbers aren't that much crazy different, but still the B58 engine seems to do a lot with not that much horsepower. What do I want to say with that? I mean, I think if you have a 400 horsepower M140i and a 400 horsepower M135i and you let them race, I think the M140i will still pull on the M135i. That's what I think, because when I see acceleration numbers, I mean, that's just what I think. But yeah, anyway. Next. So if it's gonna be a hatchback, it's definitely going to be an M140i. Because with an M140i, you can do stuff like this. So yeah, the M140i is my main hatchback choice. Astral Blue, automatic, rear-wheel drive, no X-drive. I want rear-wheel driven cars. So yeah, that would be my perfect spec. But then, yeah, the next car. I mean, I also said I like coupes. And, you have a lot of choices in coupes. So I just mainly picked the cars that I want. And that's an M2, an M2 Competition, an M4, and a Supra. Yeah, a Supra. So I'm a big BMW fan. I mean, you probably know that when you see the channel's name. I mean, Bimmer, Belgium. Talking about M4s, here is one passing right by, gorgeous in white. Oh, I'm not sure if you saw it, but it was a great spec. I would build my car the same way. Anyway, yeah. But there are a couple things that make me think about the car, why to do it or not do it. So the normal M2, price-wise, pretty okay. The cheapest of the bunch, actually. The problem is the N55 is not that capable. I mean, if you would let drag race let us say a stage 2 M140i and a stage 2 M2, the M140i will walk. And if you add a turbo on both of them, the difference will be even bigger. So really, I don't want to get by anyone in an M140i. So then basically I need an M2 Competition. Because they have the S55 engine, which is a lot more capable. I mean, it's the most capable engine of the cars I'm calling. Also, the M4 has the same engine. The problem is with the M2 Competition, they're still around 50,000 euro, but due to new regulations, tax-wise, due to emissions, you actually have to pay a lot of tax on the M2 Competition, which isn't that much fun. In Europe, they changed how they measure emissions, and if every M2 Competition has been calculated with that new emission tester, and a car from past 2018 gets taxed way higher. So you need to pay another 6,000-7,000 euro tax-wise just to get the car on the road. In comparison, for this car, it was 450 euro, and for like an M140i, it's around 2,100 euro. So really 6,000-7,000 euro is a lot of money that I don't want to spend, to be honest. The M4 doesn't have that problem because you can actually get a model that is prior to 2018, and then you'll only pay around 2,000-3,000 euro tax-wise, and not the 6,700. If you get a 2018-19 model, you'll have the same problem. So yeah, an M2 Competition, once driving with also insurance and stuff like that, I'll be paying around 60,000 euro, and I'm just gonna be straight honest with you guys, that's above my budget. Then the M4 is actually cheaper on the second-hand market if you get a 2014-15 model. The only problem with that is they're getting a little bit older. I mean, sure, they're still fine. But the S55, I mean, I've talked to owners of S55 and they're so expensive to maintain. When they need to get stuff done, and you also need to do the crank-up fix before you can really make big power. You need to do the crank-up fix, like I said, and you need to have 2 downpipes and the exhaust. And I just looked up parts, and it's such an expensive build if I want to build an M4 to my taste. So really, I mean, am I going to get one? I think it's still a little bit above my budget. I think I would manage it if I stretch the build over a longer period. But yeah, I think it's just a little bit too expensive right now. And then the Supra, it's the main problem for me is because it's a Toyota, and I love the Supra, but my channel is Bimmer Belgium, and I mean, what if Bimmer Belgium only had a Toyota? Sure enough, the Supra is mainly a BMW. It has the same B58 engine, and if you look at the interior, I'll show you, it just looks really identical to a BMW interior. The radio layout is the same, the steering wheel layout is the same, it even has the same iDrive button, the menu of the software looks really identical. I mean, it's just in a different, it's just, a little bit differently, but not that much basically. I can still use Bimmer code on a Supra. So in real life, I mean, the Supra is basically, it would feel very familiar, and there are a lot of tuning parts available for it, and it would be the most unique car, because from all the cars I just called, I mean, I see the Supra barely. I think I have seen like 3-4 of them in the wild since they're out, and an M2 or an M4, I see them almost every day. Like I just saw an M4, I actually saw a new M4 a couple of hours ago, and yesterday I saw like 2 M2s. So yeah, they're really common cars, and the Supra is a little bit more unique, and you can get a lot of nice customization parts for the car, but also those parts are a little bit expensive, because I mean, if I want to do a Supra build for just like 10 parts, I would be spending more than 10,000 euro, which is kind of a lot of money. So to be honest, I've made my calculations, and the safest bet that I would do and will do is an M140i. I mean, it's the cheapest car of all of them that I called. I actually know the most modifications to do, so I will create the most content out of it. And I mean, it has a very good and capable engine. It's pretty cheapish to buy and pretty okayish to keep running, and the insurance and the road tax is doable. So I think the safest bet with my current income, which actually has... Yeah, sorry for the sudden cut. Apparently my phone overheated and decided to cut the video, and I didn't notice it until now because I'm editing. But yeah, I was talking about my income that has raised because I actually changed job a couple of weeks ago. And in comparison to last year, I easily, earn like 600-700 euro a month more than back then. So a lot of opportunities have opened, but I still think that the safest bet will be an M140i, because then I still have enough budget to buy the car and do modifications and still have some money over to do other things, because believe it or not, I actually have a social life. So yeah, I think the M140i would be, the greatest option. And for the people that want to know how this car actually is doing right now, because we had some problems with blue smoke, one of my subscribers actually told me to put in a certain product to it softens the valve seals, the rubbers of the car, and it should make it should solve it. So I put that into the car. I actually don't know how it's called anymore, so I'll put it on the screen. I put it in the car, and the smoke problem hasn't solved yet, but it's way less. So at least it's a good thing. It's not 100% gone, but I notice less oil consumption, and I also notice less smoke when sitting in traffic. So we're heading up the good way. Also, if you watch until now, I'll give you guys some extra cool shots because you're so loyal. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Yeah, the brakes are a little bit blue from that last stop.